it up, guys. Green, green, green.
Checkered coming out on group number 2. Ronnie Dennis from that first group. He will hold on to the number 1 spot. Caution on the speedway, debris over in the 1-2 turn area, so we'll slow the first group of our crate late model drivers down.
All right, drivers, going to speed it back up. Green, green, green.
All right, checkered out group number 1, 33. One-time winner Jacob Witt tops on the board right now, 20.401 seconds. All right, checkered out on the second and final group of our Boost Brothers Performance Crate Late Models. Checkered is out. Going to be Cody Lear tops on the board tonight as the 81 of Jimmy Jesmer spins it on the back straightaway. Jesmer had a very good lap there in warm-ups tonight. Frankie Gordon, number 1 on the board after group number 2. He's 4th overall.
Driver's going to speed it up. Green, green, green.
Group number one of our Pure Stocks wrapping up their warm-up session. Randy Lindenberg, the 17L, one-time winner a year ago, 23.167. He'll be tops on the board. All right, checkered wild on the final group of Pure Stocks and warm-ups tonight. Randy Lindenberg will hold the number one position along with Reed and Churchy. 78 of Evan Fowles. Blake Reed in the 8B. He was fastest of that group, 5th overall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in next weekend, we do have a 50-50 that we started a few weekends ago for a young man by the name of Adam Leatherman. We are going to be doing a tribute to him, but we wanted to wait because on that night, the front-wheel drive four-cylinder drivers were here, and they had partaken in that 50-50 raffle. So if you wondered about that, we are holding off until we can get those drivers back who did put some money in for their 50-50. That was a rain out as well. So if you did put some money in for that one on that particular night, next weekend, if you are able to make it here, we will have the tribute to Adam Leatherman in opening ceremonies, as well as the resumption of that 50-50. But tonight we also have another gentleman that passed away this week, and Linda Fogel also does a fantastic job. She always knows of so many people, friends, family, members of our racing industry that have lost their lives, and she was touched by another gentleman this week who passed away, and we try to help the families out as best we possibly can when it comes to situations of this nature. And he only goes by Uncle Joel, so we don't know which niece or nephew did write this, but when I read this, they always say, buddy, touch it up however you want, but you know what, when I read it, I don't think there was a word I wanted to change. Today we gather with heavy hearts to honor the life of my Uncle Joel, a man who was full of laughter, warmth, and love for his family. Joel was a devoted husband, a proud father, and someone so light or touched so many lives. Unfortunately, behind that light, there was a struggle most of us didn't see. Losing Joel this way has left a hole in our hearts. It's hard to understand and even harder to accept. He left behind a wife who loved him unconditionally and children who looked up to him with wide eyes and open hearts. His absence is felt deeply and always will be. If there is one thing we can take from this tragedy, always remember this. If you're hurting, speak up. If you're struggling, know that you don't have to deal with this alone. Mental illness is invisible but real, and there is no shame in asking for help. No one is weak for needing support. We are all human. Let us honor Joel's memory by being kinder, by checking in on one another, and by creating a world where no one should feel they have to suffer in silence. Uncle Joel, we love you, and we wish we could have carried some of your pain. We hope you have found now the peace you were looking for. We will carry your memory with us always, and we promise to speak up for you and for others. Ladies and gentlemen, to everyone here this evening, mental health is real. While things may not be the best someday in our lives, we can be assured that everyone has hard times. Nobody has the perfect life. We all need each other. Be there for each other and never be afraid to lean on a friend or family member for help. Our only way to survive is to share our challenges and ask for help, even if it's just lending an ear and a kind, caring heart and voice. Be there for each other, and together we will have more comfort in our heart and in our lives, and together we will win the battle. Tonight we ask for a brief moment of silence for the man known as Uncle Joel. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so very much for bringing us together for yet another racing weekend. We're sorry to hear the passing of Uncle Joel, but we listened to the words of their relatives, and we certainly hope that those words were engraved in our memories tonight and in our hearts, that when we do have rough times in our lives, no matter what time of year it is, no matter what the situation may be, no matter who else we look at and think their lives are better, even if they are or maybe not, you always know, help us to find that special angel, provide that angel for us to bring to us for that person that we can talk to. We certainly hope that you continue to bring those angels and help us look out for each other each and every week, not only here at the racetrack, but when we leave the track and we're in our personal and working lives during the week. Help us to have that ability to always be there for somebody else. And if we ever need help, please, we hope that you bring that angel to us as well. We ask you to protect our drivers and our crew members tonight as they perform the duties out there and put on the best racing possible. Protect our officials as they perform the jobs they do and help them to do the best possible job in the tough decisions that they have to make. And as always, we thank you so very much for our military who are protecting us all over this world and in our own country, giving us the opportunity to know not what they know, but to know what we love to enjoy, and that's the sport of racing each and every Saturday and every weekend here, not only at Hagerstown, but many other speedways. Please guide us safely on our way home as we depart, and we ask you please be with us during the week. Have those angels with us to help us when we need them, so we can always be back here to enjoy another weekend of racing with friends and family. In your precious name we pray, amen. And we have Jared with the National Guard down on trackside. And Jared is going to be hoisting up our American flag as we present our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well done, my friend. Let's go racing, fans, here at Hagerstown Speedway. We're going to turn back the clock to Saturday night. 2 laps were complete, the rains came, and now it's time to resume our semi-late feature, the first of 2 for this division, and 5 overall tonight. 13 laps coming up. Semi-late feature event. They're in the staging area, about to head out onto the track.
All right, guys, going green and 3 and 4. Going green and 3 and 4, 65. You start the race.
All right, field stacked up down the back straightaway. 8 machines, 13 laps coming up. Wilson, the one-time winner in the 65. Kent, the point leader in the 1C and 2-time feature winner. 81 of Giesemann, the one-time winner on the inside.
Down,
Stoner, a 2-time winner in that 21 on the outside. Then you've got the 88Z of Isaiah Miller, the 3D of Shane McQuay, the one-time winner Brian Kearns, and the 25, Jeremy Mills. As we hit green and almost go 3 wide, we may as they head off into 1 and 2. Giesemann backs it off a little bit as Kent and Wilson remain side by side down the back straightaway on the third lap. Kent will draw the better of Dillon down into turn number 3 and 4. And Steve Kent looking for that third feature event victory. The point leader powering by and taking the lead here on lap number 3. 65 of Wilson will tuck into second. Stoner in the 21. He got around Giesemann. That will put him up into third with the 3D of Shane McQuaid, the early top 5. 83 of Curran started well back in the order as he has moved himself up and shadows McQuay. Going wide off turn number 4, going to be Wilson. That opens the door for Stoner. For the moment, he'll tuck back in behind him as they head back into 1 and 2. And now Stoner begins to work the bottom side off that second turn. All the while, this is leading to about a half a straightaway lead for Kent early as he will put lap number 5 on the board here in tonight's makeup feature event. Second on back, pretty close together. Nobody really running away with it. Stoner's got that edge over Wilson by a car length. Another 5 back to Giesemann. And he's got McQuay. A couple of car lengths back. Kearns is right there. And then the 88 Zia Miller. As 6 laps will be recorded by Steve Kent this time by. Stoner edging away little by little and getting more in a comfort zone in second. Wilson falling back into the clutches of Giesemann. He's coming back to life a little. Behind them, Kearns in the 83 gets to the inside of McQuaid. That will put him up into 5th as we put 7 on the board this time by. Crate Late Models, heat race number 1 to the staging area. Crate Late Model drivers, heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. Turn advantage for Steve Kent. He has been on a roll this year. Stoner in second. Good 10 car lengths better than Dylan Wilson. Another 6 back to Giesemann. Kearns on the move. He got around McQuaid moments ago trying to play catch up as we put 9 on the board. And close in on the final 5. Best battle on track is going to be for the number 3 spot as Giesemann raises that left wheel through the corners and trying to get around the 65 of Wilson, shadowing him. And Giesemann really has it torqued up down the back chute as he heads down into turn number 3 and 4. Kent back to the stripe for 5 laps to go. Once again, Crate Late Models, heat race number 1. Crate Late Models, heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. All Steve Kent on entrance at turn 3. Stoner's exiting turn number 2 as he goes underneath the 25 at Jeremy Mills. 12 laps will be complete in the makeup race this time by. Wilson and Giesemann remain a very tight second and third back in turn number 3 and 4. Kearns at about another 6 or 7 car lengths back in the 83. Then McQuay and Miller. They have their own private battle as Kent's going to be looking at 2 laps to go when he comes back to the line. Giesemann a little out of sorts that time off a 4, and that cost him dearly on the amount of issues he had to get up to the 65 of Wilson, but he'll have a chance to make amends for it. Caution comes out for the Isaiah Miller machine off at turn number 4. See, Isaiah Miller brought out the caution. He's right there in 6. Mills in the 25. Back rounding out the order with the final 2-lap dash to the finish in the first of 2 semi-late feature events. Green is out. Giesemann a little off the pedal as Kearns got around it. Miller will likewise. All the while, Steve Kent, he is going to push out to a little bit of a lead. Stoner trying to keep pace, knowing time's running out as they head down the back straightaway. Wilson will be third. Kearns a car length back and forth. Giesemann trying to rebound and get one of those two spots back. He's to the inside of Miller as a white flag comes out this time by, and now it's Kent raising that left front wheel as he does so often in that 1C machine. Heads it off into the 1-2 turn. As we mentioned, coming into the event, Steve Kent's lead in the point standings, 10 over the 83 of Brian Kearns, who was challenging him for that championship. But Kent is going to hold on and tack on a few more points. Steve Kent takes his third of the season, 21 of Jason Stoner, 65 of Dylan Wilson, the 83 of Brian Kearns, and the 88Z of Isaiah Miller. They'll be the top 5 in our Makeup Simulate feature event tonight. And now Steve said he had a little mishap. The glasses got fogged up, but I think he can see you, and I know he can hear you. Give it up for Steve Kent, our first 3-time feature winner in Simulate action here at Hagerstown. All right. That night at Linda's, I was talking to Jason after the race was over with. Did your glasses really get fogged up?
In a race that we did at Linda's, no, they actually hit that rut and knocked my glasses out.
Oh, that was a heck of a battle, but boy, do you have this car hooked up tonight. You were raising that left wheel off the ground. Jason was really raising his. I think both of them came off the ground. Looked like a dragster coming off the tree. But that car really looks good. And this seems to be a track, the type of temperature, the humidity, the conditions, almost seems like it suits you, where it looks like that car's got a smile on the front.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, yeah, the car works great in these kind of conditions. And, I mean, pretty much it's how hard you want to take it in there. So whoever's got the biggest canonas gets it done.
Well, and it's tough because you got Jason, you got Stoner, you got Brian, missing somebody in there that won a race as well. Dylan, you know, everybody up there is a winner, but what has been the key for you guys this year to find so much success here at Hagerstown?
You know, I got to give Giesemann some credit, and he's helped me with the setup. I've learned a lot, and, you know, of course, my crew guys from Jim, Nick, everybody, Jarrett, that helps me out, that makes this possible. So,
is this guy a hoot or what? I bet he's fun to be around during the week. Is he? Everybody's shaking their head up and down. You are, man. Steve, you got another one? Can you crank another one? You got a 10-point lead over Brian coming in. You know you got some peddling to do tonight. You got one more left in you?
Yeah, I think so. We're running last tonight, but I should be able to change some tires and figure out a setup for later. So,
who would you like to thank?
I'd like to say I got to thank all my sponsors, F&A Excavating, actually he's here, SKS Equipment Diesel, I got Frederick Moose Lodge, and Cook Realtors. So yeah, man, I mean, they all helped me out this year for fuel and tires. So.
I promoted you hard. Any chance I can get a cut of that 500 tonight?
Yeah.
Should I just talk to you later? Is that what you're going to say? Simulator?
Work it out.
All right. Steve Kent, he picks up the first win tonight in Simulate action. All right, green flag out in the first of 2 6-lap qualifiers tonight. And the 31, Noah Burnell. From the pole, grabbing that lead. Outside pole sitter and point leader, Kyler Upperman, the 27, currently second. 08B, Jacob Burnett, third. 12C, Travis Campbell and Guchnauer in that 7. They are the top 5 as they come back. Challenge for the lead here on lap 2. Upperman had a shot, but didn't quite get the good line he wanted off of 1 and 2. And that will keep Burnell in the number 1 spot. Halfway will go on the board. 3 in the books, 3 to go here in Crate Late Model Race number 1. Crate Late Model C Race number 2. You should be heading to the staging area. Well, Upperman made that challenge, and ever since Brunel fended it off, he's opened up about a 5 or 6 car length advantage. Upperman solid in second, Burdett third. Fourth position right now still held by Travis Campbell. And Guchnauer in that 7G, he's right there as well. 19 of Alan Witt Jr., he holds on the 6th, followed by the 9T of Jim Parnell. Single file right now all around this half-mile track as the white flag comes out. Noah Brunel looking to check in for that first crate late model heat race win of the 2025 season. Upperman coming in, as we mentioned, just a mere 3 points over the 14C of Chuck Bowie, who'll be out in heat race number 2. But in the meantime, it's Noah Brunel checking in for his first Booz Brothers Performance Crate Heat event. 27 of Upperman, Burdett in the 08B. 12 being powered by Travis Campbell, and the 7G of Isaiah Guchnauer. He will round out the top 5 in heat race number 1. All right, field stacking up. 6 laps of the distance. All drivers will qualify for tonight's 20-lap or 22-lap feature event as the green is out. And David Kaiser quickly up through the gearbox, grabbing that lead from the 21 of Tyler Horst. 28 of Pryor into second spot. Going to be Booz and Hutton side by side to the battle for third. Here comes Jacob Witt in the 33. He started back in the tail end of the field, already plucked off 4 drivers. They're on half lap number 1. As he comes back, he's part of a 3-wide battle almost. Got around Horst. Now he's trying to work on Bowie. And also Booz. He's the meat in the sandwich, and Bowie comes out on the short end as he got a little crossed up. And not only loses that battle to Booz, but also the one of Dylan High gets on the outside as Kaiser makes it back for lap number 2 with a good lead. 21 of Horst still in second spot. Pryor in the 28. Those 3 comfortably in their spots. 33 of Witt continues on the move. One-time winner here at Hagerstown and also at the Potomac Speedway. Having himself a good season, but knows he's trying to chase down Kyler Upperman in the battle for that series championship. Going way high off turn number 4, and it's going to create a 3-wide battle as they come down, and Jacob Witt's going to take the better of it. Going to be the 21 of Tyler Horst. And he's trying in vain to hold on to the number 2 position. May get it as Witt got a little crossed up trying to make the pass. But the 2nd through 5th place battle nose to tail. Going to be Witt to the inside of Horst, then Pryor and Booz. They're right there as the 2 to go signal goes for David Kaiser. He is checked out by a turn as it's 2x2 racing from second on back. And Witt and Horst make a little contact off turn number 2. And Witt muscles his way into second. Horst to third. Booz now up into 4th and Pryor in 5th with the white flag out. Again, late model Sportsman drivers, heat race number 1. Late model Sportsman drivers, heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. Final lap, and David Kaiser just let the rest of them battle. A turn advantage turns into checkered flag in heat race number 2 in the Booz Brothers Performance Crate Late Model Division. 33 of Jacob Witt will come home second. 21 of Tyler Horst third. B2 of Mason Booz and the 14C of Chuck Bowie. They will be the top 5. The 8 cars in heat race number 1, 8 laps the distance. All drivers will be transferring. Late model Sportsman's heat race number 2. You can make your way to the staging area. Late model Sportsman heat race number 2 to the staging area, please. All right, here we go. Couple of winners in this field, Breeden and Bonebreak, and they're battling for the championship as they come off of turn number 4. All right, a little bit antsy on that start, so we'll slow them down and try it again here on attempt number 2. Good field of late model Sportsmans. As we mentioned, we've had 7 different winners Last year, I think we had a total of 9, so the parity was very good, and there are still several that are well-versed and could get their first late model Sportsman win. All right, Cody Breeden grabbing the green flag and the lead down in turn number 1 and 2. Frankie Gordon trying to go right up through the field to the inside of Palmer, the outside of Bonebrake, and right now he's challenging for third. Danny Atherton, he feels him coming right down that rear deck lid. The 19 holding on to the number 2 spot. Bonebrake swinging wide, going to be Gordon to the inside. Last straightaway, he was on the outside of Bonebrake. Now he challenges down to the inside to see if he can get that third spot. Good drag race for those two down the back chute. Palmer is in 5th as Breeden in the 14 trying to set sail here early with 2 laps complete. Danny Atherton now comfortably in that number 2 spot. For a little bit there, it looked like both Bonebrake and Gordon were going to run him down in turn 3 about a lap or so ago. Bonebrake wins that battle for the moment in 3rd. Going to be Gordon falling back into 4th, and the 86 of Scott Palmer, the top 5 here at lap number 3. 8 laps again the distance. The cross flags will be coming up, and again Gordon tries to renew the battle down the back chute, pulling up by that rear deck lid of the Bonebrake machine as Breeden takes the cross flags halfway in late model Sportsman qualifier number 1. Palmer now trying to get in the game as Gordon fell back just a little bit in that battle with Bonebrake, and now he falls in the clutches of Scott Palmer, the Greencastle PA number 86, trying to see if he can move up one more notch in the order with 3 circuits to go. Single files that come back to the stripe, and all of a sudden Breeden's lead is starting to dissipate. The 19 of Danny Atherton, always strong when his night starts out in warm-ups and usually in time trials, looking for a good run. The Three Springs PA driver closing on Breeden as they come back for 2 laps to go. Bonebrake was comfortable in 3rd. Gordon has found himself a gear. He's caught back up to the Hagerstown driver and now begins to make the challenge for 3rd. And the 86 of Palmer still making up the top 5. 3 car lengths separation between the top 2, and the white flag is out this time by. So Atherton made a run. Breeden looks like he changed his line just a little bit to make sure he could compensate for it. He opens up about a 5 car length advantage down the back straightaway. Definitely could have 2 feature event victories, but a loose oil line cost him a few weeks ago. But Breeden back in the number 1 spot in the heat race, taking qualifier number 1 for late model Sportsman is going to be the 19 of Danny Atherton. Coming home in 2nd. Palmer had trouble on that last lap off turn number 2, and that will cost him a top 5 run. The 37 of Bonebrake, the 92 of Gordon, and the 27 of Ziegler. They will be the top 5 in late model Sportsman qualifier number 1. So everybody in this group still looking for that first late model Sportsman win of the season here at Hagerstown Speedway. And very many good quality drivers in this field as well. 8 laps to get the distance. All drivers to qualify as we get set for the green flag. All right, Austin Latham takes him down into turn number 1 and 2. Lear gets around Bobby Beard and begins to make that challenge. Down the back chute, Beard will go into 3rd. Here comes Justin Weaver to the inside of Kirshner and Bobby Beard, trying to take 2 for 1 as he goes through the 3-4 turn. 6 cars all there together, and let's see what the Mason Street Machine's going to do. 76 slowed, but gathers it back up. Going to be Lear grabbing the lead. Latham now in 2nd. Beard not done. He's trying to get back on Justin Weaver. But the Clear Spring, Maryland driver in that 1J goes to the inside. He grabs 3rd as Lear will bring him back for lap number 2. Still a good tight battle from 2nd through 6th. Latham solid in that number 2 position for the driver that doesn't run Hagerstown very often. Still trying to get his legs underneath of him in that late model Sportsman machine, but a good quality effort right now. Weaver running 3rd as Lear with about a quarter of a turn lead takes the 3rd lap as he comes by. Weaver will be 3rd. The battle for 4th. Bobby Beard right ahead of Cody Kirshner. That is the tightest battle in the top 5 with Matt Murphy in the 21M right there as well. Kirshner and Beard have their own private battle for 4th with Murphy looking on as they take the halfway sign. And Cody Lear, long overdue, trying to see if he can get his first late model Sportsman win tonight and be the 8th different winner. And he is well on his way to a good, solid effort as he brings it back for lap number 5. Austin Lathram holding off one of the best in the Hagerstown business. That's Justin Weaver. And he's got about a 2 or 3 car length advantage on him. Kirshner in the 2+2 won the battle with Beard, pulled away. He's in 4th. Beard in 5th, and the 21M of Matt Murphy holding on to 6th as the leaders come by. 2 to go this time. Lear in control. The only challenge is getting around the lap machine of Mason Straight. He'll do that as he goes into 3 and 4 down low. Sets it right in the middle of the racetrack off at turn number 4. White flag in the air for the Manchester, Maryland driver. Keeping the eyes on the battle for second. Weaver has been working on Lathram to the corners. And the driver of the 6 slips up just enough. Weaver gets underneath as he tries to claim the number 2 spot down the back straightaway. The lap car of Mason Straight may come into play before it's over. But one thing that is over, Cody Lear, he's got the victory in qualifier number 2. Weaver will take second. Lathram right there in 3rd. Kirshner in the 2+2 4th, and trouble in turn 4. Murphy was looking to get to the inside of Bobby Beard. They make contact. Murphy spins, and Beard gets the number 5 spot. So a lot of good action in qualifier number 2. And again, Cody Lear, very good season. The 99 BA hasn't got the victory, but he is showing signs of being so close.
Top 5 in our second late model Sportsman qualifier. All right, the third and final one coming up tonight.
Pure Stocks heat race number 1. You can make your way to the staging area. Pure Stock drivers, heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. Little air show for you off of turn 3 and 4, folks. If you see a couple parasailers heading on by, as long as they don't drop on the track during the green. Now you want a front row seat, but that's crazy. All right, here's how they're going to line up in heat race number 3. 25A of Braden Anderson at Bunker Hill, West Virginia. He'll be on the pole. The 08K of Zach Kaufman at York Haven, PA on his outside. 5.56 of Eric Cronice out of Boonesboro, Maryland. The B2 of Brian Booz at the Greencastle, PA. And the 000, Matt Naylor out of Newville, Pennsylvania. Those are the drivers in qualifier number 3, 8 laps. Again, Pure Stocks, qualifier number 1 to the staging area, please. Braden Anderson grabbing the lead, but Jesmer, good low side momentum in that 81 machine. He got around Kaufman, and he'll go for the lead in turn 3 and 4. Going to be Jesmer holding that bottom line, and he will lead lap number 1. Kaufman to the inside of Braden Anderson, 2x2 with Booz and Naylor. They were side by side when they came back to the stripe for 4th. Anderson will get second. Going to be Booz to the inside, the number 3 man in points. He moves up into 3rd. Kaufman to 4th, and Naylor and the 000 the top 5. Jesmer, the former modified champion from a year ago, he put a late model Sportsman car together. And right out of the gate, this is about the 3rd or 4th week for the Pasadena, Maryland driver. And every week, a little tweak here or there is getting better and better. And it's clearly showing tonight as he heads it off into 3 and 4. 3 laps will be complete in this 8-lap qualifier, and he's got a good lead over Braden Anderson. Another good run for the driver at Bunker Hill, West Virginia. And Brian Booz, nothing said about the B2. He has been so solid and trying to get his first late model Sportsman win. He's a tight 3rd. Naylor in the 000, and then Kaufman in the 08K. They are the top 5 as they come back for halfway. Really convincing lead for Jimmy Jesmer in that 81 machine. And the 25 of Anderson showing a little sign. Not sure if it was tire smoke off a turn number 2. And could be a rub on that car. Hopefully just that and not any motor-related issues. But he holds on to second. B2 of Brian Booz right there in 3rd. Naylor, Kaufman, and Cronice single file as they come back. Two laps to go for Jimmy Jesmer as he comes to the stripe. Good half straightaway lead. It's Anderson in second, and he had a little bit of off the gas, a little bit off that second turn. Almost tagged that wall. That allows Brian Booz to close up with the white flag out this time. Anderson still holds a position on the gas and pulls away by a few car lengths down the straightaway. They have a comfortable edge over the 000 Matt Naylor, followed by the 08 of Kaufman. But it is Jimmy Jesmer Jr. in control in that beautiful Blue 81 machine off of turn number 4, taking the late model Sportsman third qualifier tonight. 25A, Braden Anderson. He'll come home in second. The B2 of Brian Booz will wind up in third. 000 of Matt Naylor and the 08K of Zach Kaufman. They will be the top 5 in the final late model Sportsman qualifier of the night. So a good mix here in the first 5-lap Pure Stock qualifier. Pure Stock's heat race number 2 to the staging area, please. Pure Stock drivers, heat race number 2 to the staging area, please. Field off into 1 and 2. Evan Faust got that lead early. Randy Lindenberg challenged underneath, but he'll fall into second with Fisher in third. So Yonker in the 31 also moving up in the order. He's fourth, looking down to the inside as he come back for lap number 1. It'll be the 78 of Faust showing the way. Blake Reed in the 8B gets around Keith, and that will move him up into 5th. And Blake has had some very solid runs in Pure Stock action this year. Looking underneath of Yonker, not quite there. Up ahead, going to be Fisher to the inside of Lindenberg, and caution on the speedway. Caution coming out for debris outside at turn number 4, so that will lay the yellow out with 1 of 5 laps complete. And they'll roll the dice to see who starts where in the fields of tonight's regularly scheduled events. Again, it's the 78 season specials, so 22 laps apiece for crates and the late model Sportsmans, 17 for the semi-lates and these Pure Stocks as they get set for the restart. 1 lap of 5 in the books. Faust and Lindenberg up front. All right, green back out. Lindenberg up top. Going to be Faust trying to make it work down low. Lindenberg swings around the outside and will grab that lead down the back chute. Fisher and Yonker side by side, 2x2 battling for the top 4 positions, with Keith Reed looking on back there in 5th. Still a good battle for the lead. Going to be a little bit of contact between Lindenberg and Faust, and Lindenberg will get credit for that lap. Faust swung dime on the inside, but then went up the banking, and that opened the door for Lindenberg to come right back down to the inside and retake it. And that battle was allowed Yonker to break away from Fisher and be right there to see which one he wants to follow and get around, as the top 3 make it 4 nose to tail as they come back for 2 laps to go. Again, Lindenberg using the high line. Going to be Faust to the 78 down bottom. Again, does the same thing. Swings it, does the cross move, run across the front of the car. And now that puts Lindenberg again to the inside. Drag race down the back chute. Faust showing the horses on the high side as he retakes the lead in 3 and 4. White flag will be in the air this time by. So this time going to be Faust in control. And Lindenberg almost and does spin it off at turn 1 and 2. Looked like it was almost going to save it, but then eventually made contact with the inside wall. And that will bring the caution out here with 1 lap to go. Straight away and takes that turn he don't want to take into the pit area.
We're going
we'll
green
save
this
it
time,
for
drivers.
the feature.
Green this time.
So Faust and Fisher, the 32F, they'll be on the front row on the restart. 1 lap dash to the finish here in qualifier number 1. Green is out. Faust has the lead. Going to be Yonker and Fisher challenging for second, and trouble for the 13. And I believe the 8 of Keith Reed. One got on top of the other, Christie. And they are hooked together pretty good over there in turn number 2 as the caution was going to come right back out. Nathaniel Yonker, and also the 8B of Blake Reed. Row 2, Keith Reed. He'll see if he can salvage something here as we go back to green. All right, final run down the back straightaway. Going to be Fisher trying to see if he can get to the inside of Evan Faust, the one-time feature winner of the 78, off of turn number 4, and he will take the first of 2 pure stock qualifiers tonight. 32F of Tyler Fisher, 31 of Yonker, the 8 of Keith Reed, and the 8B of Blake Reed. They will be the top 5. A lot of good quality pure stock drivers still looking for that first win, and we will see how they get this one cranked up. 5 laps to get the distance. Again, Simulates heat race number 1. Simulate drivers heat race number 1 to the staging area, please. All right, green flag is out, side by side, down into turn number 1 and 2. Going to be Fogel trying to get the edge on the outside of Beavers. He'll do it. And then he gets a little out of shape off that second turn. That opens the door for Beavers to step on the gas and go back to the inside. 72 RC of Churchy right there in third. Then the 57 of Ecton Jr. Very tight top 4 as it's going to be Fogel leading lap number 1. Beavers will be in second, a couple of car lengths back. He's got that 72 RC of Churchy all over that rear bumper. The driver that started back in 6th quickly up into 3rd. 57 of Ecton in 4th, and then the 66 of Friedrich top 5 as they come back for lap number 2. Good run right now for Bryson Fogel out of Myersville, Maryland. That's 77. Other than a little out of shape on the initial lap off of turn number 2, he straightened it out and he has vaulted away to a pretty good advantage. Left Beavers to play a little defense with Churchy, Ecton, and Friedrich as they come back for 2 laps to go. Churchy not done. He is really putting the muscle on that 62 right on that rear bumper off of turn number 2. And Beavers holds him off for the moment. They open up a little breathing room over Ecton right now, and about another 5 or 6 back to Friedrich. Challenge is for second with the white flag out. Fogel goes under the flag stand. Going to be Beavers still holding off Churchy. Ecton 3 car lengths back in 4th. Simulates heat race number 1 coming up next. Simulate drivers heat race number 1. You should be headed to the staging area. Checkered in the air, going to be Bryson Fogel with a good win in heat race number 2 for our pure stocks here tonight. The driver to Myersville, Maryland in the 77. Beavers take second. Churchy, that 72C right on his bumper in 3rd. 57 of Ecton Jr. and the 66 of Dave Friedrich will be the top 5 as the pure stocks wrap up their qualifying. Next up for them is going to be their 17-lap main event coming up later on tonight. All right, 6 cars, 5 laps, all to qualify for tonight's 17-lap main event as they head off a turn number 4. And the 1C of Steve Kent quickly on the gas. Dylan Wilson shadows him across the stripe as they grab the green flag. 88 Zia Miller up into 3rd. Schneider dropping back into 4th. Kiefer quickly in that 111. He's in 5th. Dennis in the 19 didn't get off to a good start in that machine, as he is a little bit further back in the field. It looks like he does have some problems as the leaders come back for lap number 1. It will be Steve Kent trying to continue that batting average of 1,000 right now tonight. About a 6-7 car length advantage over Wilson. Another 5 back to Miller, 3 more back to Schneider, and Kiefer in that 111 right there in 5th position as they come back for lap number 2. All right, 2 laps to go coming this time for Steve Kent. Off of turn number 4. Challenge for second. Miller getting stronger. He's had some bad luck as he began his season. Didn't come out of the blocks right off the bat this year. Once he did had some issues, but slowly gather himself back in and putting the pressure on one of the best in the business in semi-lates, Dylan Wilson. He's only a car length behind him in third. Schneider in fourth as the white flag comes out for Steve Kent. 111 of Kiefer had troubles off turn 2.
Caution is
And
out.
about the time we
Caution is
wondered
out,
where
driver.
he was, he popped out from down bottom, and caution is out. And another one-lap dash to the finish. Kent has been in control. Maybe Miller on his outside. Or I should say Wilson. Miller to the inside of row number 2 with Schneider in the 69. One lap dash to the finish coming as Kent tries to outduel Wilson across the stripe. Leaders back into one. Wilson using the high side, trying to see if he can keep it down, and he does. Good move on the outside for Dylan Wilson. And he'll grab that number 1 spot. Kent right behind him in second. Miller in third. Schneider fourth. Leaders back in 3 and 4 for the final time. Kent running the middle groove. Wilson started low up in the middle groove, and he will take that first semi-late heat race win. Dylan Wilson in the 65. Kent in the 1C. Miller in the 88Z. The 69 of Schneider and the 111 of Kiefer. They will be the top 5 in semi-late qualifier number 1. Once again, we will kick off with a 22-lapper for the Booz Brothers Performance Crate Late Models tonight. Late Model Sportsmans will go number 2 in the order, followed by the Pure Stocks in their 17-lapper and the 17-lap finale for the semi-lates. Shane McQuay on the front row. He'll grab the lead, and it's a 3-wide battle for the number 2 spot. Brian Kearns quickly to the inside of Mike Sell, and also the 83 of making the 36 TC of Travis Calhoun. Got a little out of shape, and now it might be a little 2x2 racing down the back chute. As the leaders head off into 3 and 4, McQuay in the 3D. Another driver looking for a good, strong performance. The Sykesville, Maryland machine back to the stripe for lap 1. Kearns will be second. Going to be Mike Sell in third, Stoner in fourth, and Calhoun dropping back into fifth. Stoner trying to find his bearings right now to the inside of Mike Sell in that 19 as he works for third. And the top 2 are tight. Kearns has a good run coming off of turn number 4. He is right on the rear deck lid of McQuay as they come back for that second circuit. Kind of probing a little bit to see where is the best spot, to see if he can get that 3D. And right now McQuay's got him by a car length down the back chute. 21 of Stoner comfortably in third. Mike Sell and Calhoun the top 5 as they come back for 2 laps to go. Kearns looked on that high line. Little love tap on the bumper on the front straightaway. This time McQuay going a little wide. Kearns sees the opening and grabs a lead down the back straightaway. All of that is giving Stoner the chance here with just a lap or so to go. McQuay made a little contact again, he and Kearns, and that opens the door for Stoner, and he'll come around and take second here on the white flag lap. And Kearns now setting sail on the 83. 6 different drivers in victory lane. Kearns one of those 6, winning on the Lucas Oil Speedway night. Lucas Oil night when those drivers were here. And Kearns will take the second checkered flag. Stoner will come home in second. McQuay in third, Mike Sell fourth, and the top 5 rounded out by Travis Calhoun. All right, Evan, get out here. Evan Faust, one-time feature winner this year. Had a fun little race out there for you, he raced.
Yeah, it got a little dicey out there. That was fun. I don't know what happened to Randy, but we were having a pretty good time out there.
Randy slowly just spun, had a slow, lazy spin down in turn 1 and 2. Just when you thought he was going to click, just catch it, he just kind of went around on him. So that kind of got him. No damage, I don't think, though.
The wild man.
Yeah. All right. How do you feel about tonight? Already off to a good start with the heat, but that's a heat. You got 17 laps, 2 extra laps for you tonight. How do you feel?
Car was smoking there, so we're trying to figure that out. But I think if everything holds together, we should be all right.
All right, Big Daddy, go ahead and roll that dice. Let's see. We got 6 on that dice. Let's see. How will they line those Pure Stocks up? Oh, number 5. Hey, it wouldn't be an Evan Faust show if you didn't make it interesting for us tonight.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
Who would you like to thank?
Just my uncle, my dad, my mom. She's up there in the crowd. To everybody that helps out. My boy Aaron's, he's at the beach, so he's not here this week, but I always like to say thanks to him and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, like always, man. Just we're here because of him.
All right, Evan, thank you very much and good luck tonight. All right, Noah Burnell, great run tonight. It always pays to start first, but you not only started first, but you said goodbye to everybody else and let them battle amongst themselves. Great run tonight.
Thanks. That's my first heat race win in 2 years. So I won one in the pro stock, which is like northern cars, but not in the late model, so it feels great.
Al, who would you like to thank tonight for getting you here?
Oh, my family, my wife, one of my best friends, Brett, came to help us. Wouldn't be here without him tonight, all them. We don't have many sponsors, but we do it ourselves, do what we can, and thank the good Lord always. He gets us here and keeps us going.
Do you feel lucky tonight with that dice?
I don't know, 1 or 2, hopefully.
Okay, now, Evan just did the 5. You don't want to do the 5. Don't do the 6. Let's keep that good streak going.
It's not loaded, is it?
It might be. I'm not telling any tales. All right, Noah Burnell, our first heat race winner in the Booz Brothers Performance Crate Late Models. He gave it a good run. Hey, 3's not bad, but you got a very strong crate class out there tonight. Hey, if everything's good, will we see you back here in a few weeks for that 2K race?
Absolutely. That's the plan for the next one, going to Ocean City as soon as we leave here, so.
You lucky dog. All right, Noah Burnell. He is going to be one of the heavy favorites in tonight's Booz Brothers Performance Crate Late Models. All right, the code man. Let's get breeding up here. Hey, look, I got too many people up there. If you don't roll a 1, I'm going to get my butt whipped and I won't be able to get all the way up the grandstands, and that's already been told. Carmen told me that, and that witch on the other side. I said, witch, it's a family show. I hear you. They're going to beat me up. So, Cody, please do this. All right. We haven't talked to you, obviously, since the victory. After that, obviously, had another one in that Free State 35. Fortunately, it wasn't a terminal issue when the line went. And then you came last week, and it was good to see some of the top late model sportsman guys for the Saggy Tribute.
Yeah, we wanted to come out last weekend to test the motor out, see if it run good, and I guess it's running pretty good, and hopefully we get a good roll here and stay up front.
Well, he's got a good smile on his face. I'm begging you. No pressure, no pressure. Roll that 1 for me. Think of your announcer. He's going to get his butt whipped. Oh, hey, 3's not bad, all right? 3 isn't bad. You make it interesting. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Cody Breeden. He'll roll the 3. Thank God they put the elevator in on the backside of the tower this week so we don't have to walk up the grandstands because I know what I want to face. Big Daddy, Dylan Wilson. Good to see you back here. Last time we talked, the baby was in the arms, and you've been having some good runs as of late in a very tough semi-late division.
Yeah, the baby's definitely growing. She'll be 3 months in just over a week. That's hard to believe. And I'm glad to see our car counts have went back up from the beginning of the year. We were struggling, and it's good to have the numbers back and no shortage of fast guys here. So you definitely got to be on your toes. I don't think I was going to win that heat race if that caution didn't come out. That 1C was gone. That caution come out, and I got the outside. I was like, well, I got to try it.
Okay, now you got to figure out a way. You're in control of this to a degree. You got to keep him behind you now. You got to do a good roll here. But can you keep him behind you tonight, or can you get back around him if you need to?
Well, we're hoping so. That first feature, I wasn't really good. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then when we were setting the air pressures for that heat race, we found the right rear was going flat. It had a hole in it, so we had to change it in a hurry. But hopefully we make the right adjustments, and the track seems pretty fast, and we can stay up front.
All right, Dylan. Give her a shot, Bubba. Let's see what you can come up with in our semi-late division and their 17-lap main event here tonight. Dylan with the roll. Oh, my. 6. Dylan, do you even want to talk about it?
That dice is rigged.
All right, dice is rigged. Okay. Dylan, good luck tonight, my friend. All right, we got a brief intermission. We're going to get our crate late models lined up if you want to grab yourself a bite to eat or drink, and we'll get set for our first feature event of the night. Kyler Upperman to the 27 coming in 3 points better than the 14C of Chuck Bowie. And again, 10 up on Jacob Witt. Tight battle in our crate late model division. Who's going to come out the point leader tonight? Who's going to come out with a victory as they get set? 22 laps in our 78th season special here at Hagerstown. And Upperman will grab that lead. Burnell and Witt have the battle. Here comes Kaiser to the inside of Witt. He'll challenge for the number 3 spot. Let's see. Going to be Burnell moving up into second spot, but Kaiser with a deep plunge into turn number 3 and 4 as he comes off of that corner and back to the strike for lap number 1. Going to be Upperman the leader. Burnell in second. Kaiser in third. Witt in fourth. And the 08 of Jacob Burdett. They are the top 5. Kaiser again has that opening down bottom and surges to the bottom side of the racetrack to the inside of Brunel. See if he can make that happen off of turn number 4. Can't quite do it, but they come right up on the rear deck lid of Upperman, and caution on the speedway. Oh, great job by one driver to avoid contact. That being the 26P of Marty Pennell. All right, field stacked up, 2 down, and or should say 3 of the 22 as we get set to get back to green. Kyler Upperman off at turn number 4. Let's see what happens this time. Going to be Brunel. Right behind him, Kaiser again, right down to the bottom of the racetrack. Wood up top, Burdett behind him, then Mason Booz. And here also comes a 7 to Guchnauer. Upperman now under attack. Brunel gets a good run down the back chute, gets to the outside of turn 3 and 4. And will be able to hold on and be the leader of lap number 3 when they come back to the stripe. Upperman back into second, Kaiser third. Everybody single file on those front 5. Making Burdett holding on to 4th. He got around Jacob Witt moments ago. Guchnauer now into the number 6 position. 21 of Hasenfluck also on the move as they come off at turn number 4. Back for lap number 4. Challenge right now would be for 3rd. Kaiser was on the roll in those first couple laps, and now he's changed things up. He's running middle groove right now, but he's lost a little distance to the top 2 drivers. And once in front, Noah Brunel in that 31 checking out right now. He's got a good 10-car length advantage over Upperman. Kaiser trying to play catch up, but also a little bit of defense on the 08 of Burdett, who is right there in the number 4 position. Top 5 made up by the 33 of Witt. 21 of Tyler Horse back there in that number 7 position. 8th on the track right now, the B2 of Booz. And then back in 9th, it is going to be the 12. As the leaders make their way back for lap number 6 of tonight's 22-lap event. Good run for Noah Brunel, the driver to New Alexandria, Pennsylvania. Won his heat race, started on the outside of row number 1. And got around the point leader, Kyler Upperman, but had a fierce battle with David Kaiser. Now, it's early in this event, but he is off to a great start and would really love to see if he can score that win in preparation for that $2,000 to win crate late model race coming up. So top 4 peeled away. Going to be Brunel, Upperman, Kaiser, and Burdett. Jacob Witt falling back into 5th. Guchnauer, that's 7G. He's had a very good run. Beautiful blue 7G machine. He's putting the pressure on for a top 5 run. 21 of Horst is right behind them as the leaders come back to complete lap number 8 of tonight's crate late model feature event. 12C of Travis Campbell also up in that top 10. Right now he's running 8th as he got around Mason Booz moments ago. 14C of Chuck Bowie. He's trying to play catch up. He's in the top 10, but he's also looking at that championship, trying to see if he can gain some more points. And right now he's got some work to do as lap number 10 goes on the board here in tonight's 22-lap crate late model feature event. Brunel back to the stripe, and not long from now he'll see some back markers in the field, but he's got a pretty good advantage right now, about a half a turn off that second corner. And he'll also be looking at cross flags for halfway here in tonight's 22-lap crate late model feature event. Upperman, 2 car lengths better than David Kaiser as the leaders work their way off at turn number 4. And we are halfway in tonight's crate late model feature event in the 78th season special. Challenge for second. Kaiser coming back to light to the inside of Upperman. Brunel had a little bit of trouble with Hasenfluck off turn number 2, and that really slowed things down for the next 2 drivers. Contact was made between Kaiser and Upperman because of that, and Upperman got into the wall a little bit. That allowed Burdett and the 08K to get around, and now Burdett's now moved the 08B, I should say, up into the number 3 position. Going to be Upperman back into 4th, and top 5, Guchnauer, and that's 7G. He continues to plug away with a pretty good advantage in that 5th position. 6th on the track still, Tyler Horse. 7th going to Campbell in the number 12. After that, Mason Booz, Chuck Bowie, and Alan Witt Jr. in the number 19, followed by the number 1 of Dylan High. Leader down the back straightaway off at turn number 2, and caution is on the speedway. Trouble. Mason Booz, one of the drivers involved. Another car down there in turn number 4, and the yellow comes out here just past the halfway point.
Okay, drivers, green
All
flag.
right, field stacked
Time,
up. Here we go.
time.
13 down of 22 tonight. It'll be Burnell and Kaiser. Here we go off of turn number 4. Burdett and your point leader, Kyler Upperman, in that 27. Green flag back in the air. Kaiser doing a crossover move. He wants to get to the bottom. That has worked well, and up the track he goes, and Burnell gives him the room, and here comes 2 more. Burnell had some issues in that corner. Burdett with a very good run. He'll go up into second, and Gutschnauer in that 7G up into 4th as they work off of turn number 4 for lap number 14. So once in front, Kaiser, he is beginning to try and check out. Burdett, Burnell, Gutschnauer, and then the 12 of Campbell. He's on the inside of Upperman, the 27. 21 of Horst is right there. Good battle for the number 5 spot between 3 cars as they come back for the 15th circuit in tonight's Crate Late Model Feature event. And Burnell continues to have some issues off that second corner. That time Gutschnauer, that 7G, was able to get around him. That'll put him up into 3rd. Burnell's still in the high line. He may lose 1 more spot. He's got Campbell right behind him in that 12 machine. And then side by side behind them, Upperman and the 27, making the 21 of Tyler Horst. The 1 of Dylan High. He comes to life in the top 10 right now as they work down the back chute. Bowie still out there. Some sheet metal missing from that right side after the incident with Mason Booz as Kaiser comes back for lap 17. 5 to go here in tonight's 22-lap Crate Late Model event. So far, as we mentioned, 4 different drivers in victory lane, but David Kaiser has been one of them. And that 11K looking very strong all night long. Burdett, Gutschnauer, Burnell, and Campbell, the top 5 as they come back for the 18th circuit. Gutschnauer may not be done. The driver that started on the inside of row number 5. And that beautiful blue 7G, he's been putting the pressure on Burdett. They've got a good distance back to Burnell and Campbell, who's also got a good battle. Those 2, and behind them, Horst and Upperman. A lot of 2x2 battles when they go through the corners, and then they fan back out single file. But for the driver up front, David Kaiser, cruise control, half straightaway lead as he'll come back for the 2 to go indication. Normally it would be a checkered, but on the 78 season special, 2 more laps to go for the Winchester, Virginia driver. Working the high side of Chuck Bowie down the back straightaway. And after that, Kaiser's on cruise control. Nobody to deal with as the white flag will find him off of turn number 4. And the Winchester driver makes his way back to the stripe. Second spot still under attack. It's still Burdett. He's got Gutschnauer. That's 7G. Still challenging him through the corners. With the final lap in the books, Burnell and Campbell still with a good battle, but it is David Kaiser in that 11K machine. He'll become the first repeat winner in the Booz Brothers Performance Crate Late Models on the 78 season special. Coming out in second, going to be the 08B of Jacob Burdett. Great run for the 7G of Gutschnauer. Side by side, back to the stripe. 31 of Noah Burnell. Looks like he may have edged out the 12 of Travis Campbell. And that final run tonight, a great Crate Late Model race here in tonight's 78 season special. So David Kaiser becomes the first repeat winner in Crate Late Model competition. We'll have a few words with him. Late Model Sportsman drivers, you can make your way to the staging area. Late Model Sportsman drivers for your 22-lap main event. To the staging area, please.
What number you got?
He now becomes the 5th and the first repeat winner. There he is, David Kaiser, our Crate Late Model winner tonight. All right, he came from the number 6 starting spot, but boy, I tell you, you put on a pretty good show up there. Noah Burnell, Kyler Upperman, a good battle on a few restarts and some good racing. But boy, once you got in that lead, it was checkout time.
Yeah, I want to first say I apologize to the 27. The lap car just came down right in front of me. I only had one way to go, and that was up. So I apologize for him. I definitely wasn't meaning. And this week marked 1 year. Kathy Edmonds, she passed away, and every time I won, she was the first one to me to hug me. So it's pretty special to win this weekend, not once but twice also. And of course, this is where Evan grew up racing, and this whole car is about him. And I just can't thank Anne-Marie enough for letting me be able to do this, and all my amazing sponsors, Dusted, A1 Duck Cleaning, GT Archery, Champion Auto Sales, Cambridge Dentistry, Agent Funkhauser, GT Archery, Middle Valley LSC, McFarland's Paint Company, Waters Taxidermy, ARC Racing, my granddad. I know him for Trueform Race Products, Ingram Race Engines, Phil's Auto Cares, DK Speed Guts, and of course Jim Stevens, Penske by JDS. He makes sure we always hooked up.
A couple of weeks from now, $2,000 to win race. Is that circled on your calendar? Will we have a chance to see you back here?
Yeah, we plan on coming, so hopefully. We lost the motor the other week, so hopefully we can get it back. It's a little stronger in this one, so hopefully everything goes well and we're back here again.
Well, you put on a great show. It was wonderful watching you surge down through the bottom of that racetrack and hold that car down. Track looked like it was in very good shape, and you were having a good time out there. Yeah,
I mean, Hagerstown did a great job. This track was, I feel like it was both lanes, and so I just can't thank everybody enough. Of course, my dad and my mom for letting me do this, my girlfriend Trista for supporting me, and the rest of the family back at home, and hopefully we're here in a couple weeks.
Well, we certainly hope so. David, the first repeat winner in a very tough crate late model class. Enjoy this one, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, David Kaiser, second time in crate late model action at Hagerstown this year. "22 cars, 22 laps. Jimmy Jesmer, Cody Lear, pair of Maryland drivers looking for their first wins. They have been strong this season. We get set for the 78th season special for Late Model Sportsman. Well, Jesmer grabs a lead up the bank, and he goes it right in front of Cody Lear. He had to jam on the brakes a little bit, and that brings Justin Weaver right there. Here goes Lear down to the inside. Dive bomb move in turn 3 and 4, and grabbing that lead, but Jesmer right back around him with Weaver going to second.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Stay high in 3, stay high in 3, stay high in 3, stay high in 3.
Caution on the speedway. A couple of drivers having troubles. The 76 at Mason Straight brings it down in turn 3.
All right, drivers, green flag this next time around. Green flag this time, drivers.
Pure Stock 17 lapper. That will be next, followed by the finale tonight for semi-lates in their 17 lap event. Jesmer and Lear, Atherton and Weaver, Anderson, Breeden, front 3 rows, Bone Break and Latham right behind them. Green flag back in the air. And Jesmer and Lear behave a little bit better this time. One took the middle, one took the high, but Lear showing the horsepower. Little tap on the rear bumper of that 81 of Jesmer by Lear as he go into turn number 3 and 4. Weaver hugging the bottom down off of turn 4. And back to the stripe. That will gain him the number 2 position. Jesmer gets lap 1. He's riding the cushion right now. Weaver down to the bottom side. Going to be Lear up top as well. Breeden up into 4th. Atherton, the 19, dropping back into 5th. Braden Anderson holding on to 6th. Austin Latham 7th. Here comes Brian Booz, not to be forgotten, the B2 machine, high up in the late model sportsman points as we come back for lap number 2. Booz chasing Bone Break in the battle for the championship, and Bone Break's right on his heels. Hit a little bit of a rut down bottom, did Bone Break. That car got out of shape, and he lost momentum. Cody Kirshner and Frankie Gordon right on his heels as they work it back into 3. And 3 laps are complete for Jesmer this time by. Top 2 secure and pulling away Jesmer and Weaver. Lear in 3rd, couple car lengths over Breeden, another 3 back to Danny Atherton, and a challenge for 4th make it 5th. Going to be Booze to the inside of Anderson. Good surge down bottom for the Greencastle, Pennsylvania driver. He moves up one more notch in the order. That will put him 6th, actually. Anderson will be 7th. Going to be Austin Latham holding on to 8th. Bonebreak in 9th. And Cody Kirshner right now the top 10. Jesmer still working right on that cushion as he brings it back for lap 5. Well, Brian Booz sometimes early this season when he started further back in the field needed the aid of a caution, and that always helped him. So he's kind of hoping for that as Jesmer's already got about a straightaway lead on the driver all the way back in the number 6 position. Right now, Jesmer's concern is going to be Justin Weaver, one-time winner a year ago and a very accomplished late model.
Yellow, yellow, stay high in 2, stay high in 2. Yellow, 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 stay high in 2.
All right, Green about to go back out of the air here at lap number 6 of tonight's 22-lap event. Jesmer gets the better of Weaver, drag racing down the front straightaway and able to go right to where he wants to be in that groove for that 81 machine. He'll grab the lead. Weaver in 2nd. Breeden gets 3rd. And now it's going to be Danny Atherton challenging Cody Lear. Brian Booz, he's been working bottom side. Didn't have a choice this time. He's on the high side of the Atherton machine off turn number 4. And lap 6 will go on the board, make it 7. And nonetheless, Booz quickly to the outside of Atherton, down bottom on Cody Lear. And right now he's 5th. Booz goes up into the number 4 position. Lear back to 5th. Going to be Atherton 6th. Side by side, your point leader Bonebreak. He's to the outside of Braden Anderson with the 2+2 of Kirshner back behind him here on lap number 8. And all the while, Jimmy Jesmer pulling away again. 8 in the books, closing in on the halfway mark. Weaver, Breeden, and Booz all comfortably in the top 4 spots. Likewise for Cody Lear in 5th. Only challenge in that top 10 could be coming from Booz as he closes the gap on the Breeden machine. That would be the challenge for 3rd as he looks to the inside. Maybe not close enough this time. Peeling off at turn number 4. And it's going to be 10 laps in the books. We're going to see cross flags next time by. Jimmy Jesmer with about a 6-7 car length advantage, and the challenge is on for 3rd. There goes Booz to the inside of Breeden, and he'll take over 3rd. Lear remains in 4th. Jesmer takes the cross flags. We're halfway home in tonight's 22-lap late model Sportsman main event. Booz working the bottom line in 3rd spot, trying to peel away from Cody Breeden, who drops back to 4th. Lear in 5th. Atherton, good run in 6th. Bonebreak in 7th. Kirshner 8th. Going to be Anderson 9th, and the 92 of Frankie Gordon now making up the top 10 as we begin the second half of tonight's 22-lap late model Sportsman main event. Pure Stocks for your main event to the staging area, please. Pure Stock drivers for your main event to the staging area. Jesmer, the 81, maybe showing some signs. Up to look a little funny going off into turn number 3 and 4. A little bit of a flame underneath that machine, and we're watching Weaver close that gap up just a little bit. Down to about 5 car length separation between those top 2 machines. As they come back, lap number 14 about to go on the board. Jesmer still working the middle line through the corners. It's going to be Weaver down bottom. Still about 5 car length separation here at lap number 14. B2 of Booz pedaling, almost in need of maybe one more caution. He has been trying to close on those front 2 machines. He sees them, but has about a quarter of a straightaway to catch back up. 14 of Breeden and the 99 of Lear remain the top 5 as 15 go on the board. And that interval remains about the same. If we stay green, we know what's coming. Back into the field, the 76 of Mason Strait will be one of the first drivers that Jesmer may have to encounter as he pedals it down into turn number 3 and 4. And Weaver, little by little, is closing on that 81 machine. It's taking a little bit, but it is tightening up a little bit up there in the number 1 spot. 0.6 of a second separation between those top 2, and one driver
yellow, yellow, low. Stay low in 4. Stay low in 4.
And a tough break for Cody Lear once again. The 99 BA machine pulling up in turn number 4.
We are going green this time, drivers. Down, 6 to go.
Jesmer and Weaver, and now the B2 of Brian Booz working from further back in the field. Started on the inside of row number 5, but needed some cautions to get himself in a good spot, and he's where he wants to be as we go back to green. And Weaver grabs a lead from the outside of Jimmy Jesmer. Booz quickly tries to get to the inside. Little contact between the two. 3 wide off turn 2. Cody Breeden goes top shelf. Booz will get the number 2 spot. Breeden for the moment in third. Jesmer's right there, and then you got Atherton and Bonebreak side by side. They complete the top 5-6 machines here at lap 17. 5 laps to go. And once in front, Justin Weaver. Starting to pedal, hit that turn a little bit unorthodox, and that hurt him a little bit. He's got about a 6-car length advantage on Brian Booz. And now it's going to be Atherton and Jesmer fighting side by side for the number 4 position here on lap 18. Jesmer trying to gain back some of what he lost. He goes back up to the high side maneuver and gets back around the 14 of Cody Breeden. That will put him back up into third. Breeden 4th, Atherton a very good run in 5th, and Bonebreak closing up to join the gang. He's up in the number 5 spot and make it 6th as they come back to the stripe. He and Atherton rubbing side by side as they go back into turn number 1 and 2, and Booz is not done. He's closing the gap up just a little bit, but is it enough? As they'll come back for 2 laps to go this time. Weaver running just a lane off the bottom. It's going to be Booz down bottom as well, and he is closing, but it's like a car length, maybe a car length and a half. Booz is surging really hard in turn 3 and 4, but the white flag is going to be in the air this time by 1 final set of turns for Brian Booz, or 2 sets in 1 lap, and he's down to the inside. Weaver went a little bit too low, hit the rumbles down there. It's going to be Booz. Drag race could be on. Brian Booz right where he wants to be, surging down into turn 3 and 4. Weaver trying to fend him off as well. Brian Booz, Justin Weaver. Who's going to win it? They locked up a little bit off turn 4, and Brian Booz coming away with the late model Sportsman win. Justin Weaver in second, but what a battle between those two. You knew it when you saw that Weaver had given that bottom side to Brian Booz close enough to see if he could make something happen, and indeed did.
Championship coming in third tonight.
He's the kingpin, Brian Booz, taking the late model Sportsman victory.
Real excited, ain't I?
Hey, you know, Brian, I know last week when Danny was down there talking to you, you talked about the new colors on the car, and I heard the first word you said was shut up. So we got the white car out tonight for late model Sportsman's. But, dude, how long has this one been coming for you?
Yeah, we've been waiting on this for a while now. It's, you know, I know they're upset. I felt like when he missed the bottom there a couple times and got crossed up coming through 1 and 2 on that last lap, but I got right to his quarter panel, and apparently I cleared him, but he just got back into my left rear or whatever. But, you know, you sit around and be nice and win or not run second, third, fourth all year. I just felt like it's time to get a little bit more aggressive. We're in a tight points battle.
Yeah, last year was a great one between Wesley, who you're dealing with right now in the battle for the championship. Shoemaker and Zook. It's another 3-car battle again this year. Cody Breeden's up there as well. You love the low line around here, it seems like. I mean, could the car actually, if you needed it to tonight, work up high? Because I know one time you came off a 4, you got Atherton. I think Atherton on the high side, you immediately went right down to the bottom. He said, I'm going back to the low side again.
Yeah, I grew up watching Gary Stoller, so no one's better on the bottom here than him. But the car could move around a lot. I was pretty pleased with where I could go with it, but it just seemed like still the bottom was getting it done. I moved up to try and see if I could match pace with Justin there with a few laps to go, and it seemed like I was at least hanging with him, but then I chopped the bottom, get a decent run, and that's what let me pull right up to him. So
Who would you like to thank, Brian?
Well, I got to thank my girlfriend first, Annette, and then my brother, my family, mom and dad, Devin, Kyle, Robbie, Kevin, Danny. Who else is standing around here? There's Pete Breeden. He needs to put a shirt on. My son Mason. He had a bad night tonight. They played a joke on me at the shop this week and came in with a rubber snake, and I'm not real fond of snakes.
I am not either, and I've been down that road before.
They've been making fun of me all week about my reaction to it, so.
You got the last lap.
I think so.
Hey, what if they do that again to you even after you won? What are you going to do then?
I don't know. We're going to lock the shop and not let them in.
Well, Brian, once again, long overdue. You're a very soft-spoken gentleman, but boy, you do your fierceness in driving on the racetrack. Incredible performance on the inside of row 5. You had some work to do to get around a lot of top-flight opponents, and then by virtue of some extended green flag racing, you were going to need them cautions because things were getting stretched out. You got those 2 yellows that you needed, and you found yourself where you wanted to be.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I hope it was exciting. And I think we have some more races left.
Yes, we do. All right, Brian Booz, pick it up. He is the 8th late model sportsman winner. I think our record last year was 9. Booz parks it in victory lane tonight. All right, field getting stacked up. 17 laps coming up tonight's Pure Stock main event. Nathaniel Yonker, Dylan Beavers, front row. Here we go. All right, Yonker grabbing that lead. Beavers high side, goes seconds. Faust got it a little sideways and loses another spot. Nick Fogel gets around him up into 3rd. Going to be Faust in 4th. Keith Reed quickly up into the number 5 spot here on lap number 1. Tied top 3 as they come back for that first of 17 circuits. Going to be Yonker working up in the higher line. Beavers, Fogel, and Faust nose to tail. And here goes Fogel down to the inside for 2nd spot. Reed will be 5th, side by side. Churchy and Tyler Fisher. Yonker the past couple years averaging at least 1 victory, and right now looking to see if this can be the one. Got a ways to go tonight, couple more laps in 15. Fogel had that 2nd spot. Beavers fighting back on the outside. Good runner-up battle as Faust watching on back there in the 78 in 4th. 8 of Keith Reed will be 5th here lap 3. Right behind them, Churchy and Fisher. They still have a battle going on for the number 6 position. Churchy down to the inside. Almost a 3-wide battle again. Faust trying to make it work as low as he can, but not enough room for 3 wide down there where they were. Still Fogel and Beaver side by side, and Yonker can't really get away from him as he holds about a 2 or 3 car length advantage back for that 4th circuit. Fogel a little out of shape that time. Not sure if there was any contact, but Faust for the moment got the spot. Fogel fights right back. And maybe Faust thought, well, maybe let me give it back to him. And they continue their toward battle for that number 3 position off of turn number 4 as we hit lap number 5 quickly in our Pure Stock feature event. Reed still back in 5th. Churchy won the battle with Fisher. He quickly moves right up there in the number 6 spot behind those top 5 machines. Had a good run a couple of weekends ago. Fisher back into 7th, side by side for 8th. Give it to Blake Reed over William Ecton Jr. And then the 66 of Friedrich and the 17 of Lindenberg. They're fighting for the final spot in the top 10. Still an ongoing battle for that number 2 spot. Sometimes they're trying to make it 3 wide. Beavers has enough high side momentum and motor down the back chute, but here comes Fogel drawing even again. But now that battle is allowing Yonker to edge away just a little bit here at lap number 7. Faust right on his heels, and Churchy in the 72C, he's really been strong. After winning 6th place with Tyler Fisher, rolls around the 8 of Keith Reed and moves up into the top 5. So Churchy in that 72 RC started on the outside. He started 6th, and even though he's just in the 5th position, still moving up strong. And now right there is in that battle. He'll be part of a 3-car battle with Beavers and Faust as Fogel was able to stretch it out. Faust a little out of shape. Beavers now has to go to the inside. Almost made contact. He along with Churchy side by side now for 4th. And halfway on the board, 9 in the books tonight as we hit the second half of tonight's 17-lap main event. It has been all Nathaniel Yonker to Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Again, the driver 3rd in the series points. 40-some-odd points back behind Dylan Beavers and William Ecton Jr. 57 of Ecton, not quite up to par tonight. He's 8th right now. Trying to get himself a little bit further up in the field and stay tight in that points battle. As the leaders go back for lap number 10. 7 circuits to go here in tonight's feature event. Still about a 5 to 6 car length advantage for Yonker over Nick Fogel. Faust in 3rd, Churchy 4th. Reed now gets around Beavers, who now fades into the number 6 position. 32F of Tyler Fisher back in 7th. Blake Reed in 8th. William Ecton Jr. 9th. And Dave Friedrich in the 66, rounding out the top 10. So tussle for second again may open more of a lead up for Nathaniel Yonker, and also keeping hope that Jesse James Auto Mart's caution won't come out on him as he works it back for lap number 12. 5 circuits to go, and there, as we mentioned,
yellow. Stay lower high in 3 and 4. Stay lower high in 3 and 4. Car in the middle.
The top 5.
11 down.
All right, 11 laps are complete here in tonight's feature event. Now Yonker didn't want that caution. He's got a peck load of drivers. Faust to his outside. Churchy, he's had a very good run in that 72 RC as we get set to get back to green. All right, drag race down the front straightaway. Going to be Yonker taking it up the banking, and that opens the door down bottom. Evan Faust now to the inside. Churchy and Reed, they're side by side. Fisher trying to get out right up in the middle of it likewise. And going to be Faust down bottom. Yonker trying to make something work on the high line as they come back for lap 12. Yonker not trying to give up right now. The 31 chipping away on that 78 right on that rear quarter panel. And here comes the 4-time winner Keith Reed in the number 8 machine to the inside. Yonker went to go down to the bottom, and Reed's there likewise. Is there enough room down bottom? A great fight for the lead off of turn number 4. Yonker holding on to second with Faust in front of him. Now Churchy and Reed are side by side in the battle for 3rd. And here comes the 32F of Tyler Fisher. All that battling has brought everybody right up to the front. Faust off of 4, lap 14, about to go on the board. 3 to go in tonight's Pure Stock main event, and Yonker not done, pulling to the outside. As they'll go back into 1 and 2, and Faust will climb the banking, but Yonker still staying strong to the outside, and uses that momentum, the power by on the outside, and grab the lead again. Faust back into second, and he'll go right back to the bottom side. Going to be Yonker trying to use that middle to high groove and that momentum as he'll come back for 2 laps to go. Yonker at the stripe, but Faust is alongside as they get back into 1 and 2. Faust has it. Going to be Yonker now pulling back to the inside. And they have had a great war for that number 1 position. So Yonker now moves to the inside. Let's see what Faust can do up top. Reed still 3rd, Churchy in 4th. White flag in the air this time by. And here they come. Faust by a quarter of a car length as they work it back into turn 1 and 2 for the final time. And going to be Yonker with a better run off turn number 2, but he gets a little out of shape, and Faust steps on the gas and goes back in front. Yonker got 1 set of turns to see if he can do anything. Faust trying to hold it to the middle line, and doesn't look like Yonker's going to be able to do anything with him off turn number 4. Evan Faust will check in for his second Pure Stock victory of the season. 31 of Nathaniel Yonker coming in second. The 4-time winner Keith Reed in the number 8 in 3rd. 72 RC of Brandon Churchy in the 32F of Tyler Fisher. They'll be the top 5. Again, simulate drivers for your main event to the staging area. Simulate drivers for your main event to the staging area, please. Well, he gets the push to victory lane, but that's okay. We know why. We'll let him tell us the story. But for the second time this year, put your hands together for Evan Faust, your Pure Stock feature event winner tonight here at Hagerstown. Starting back on the inside of row number 3, and a great battle all night long. Nathaniel Yonker, Dylan Beavers, Keith Reed, Nick Fogel, half the field. What a great battle up front for all of you guys. That was some good stuff. And I know you can tell me what caused you to have to be pushed here first.
Yeah, well, when I pulled out, like the throttle felt like it was sticking, and it was okay for the first part of the race. And then when we took under caution, right when we were coming around here to take the green, like it stuck real bad. So I kind of hung back and thought I was going to pull in, and then I was able to lift it with my foot getting in, but it was tricky. When I got back by Nathan there, and it really stuck the last lap and a half. I was just like braking, and I don't know how I held on to it, and he got out to my outside, and I was just kind of out there for a free-for-all. He was kind of upset when I pulled back in here, but I was doing everything I had with no throttle pedal.
It really was a race. You didn't know who was going to win that one tonight. I mean, Nathaniel is always trying to see if he can secure one. It looked like it was almost tonight, and then here came everybody else. But you guys went back and forth. One lap, you're up top, he's down bottom, and he's got the lead. Next lap, flip-flop, you got the lead. It just went back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, it was a great race, and like I said, Yonkers is an awesome guy to race with. I hope we can settle it, and he's not too upset because I didn't do anything malicious or on purpose. And we were out there racing as a Ford for sure, and we had some fun tonight, and hope everybody else did too.
Well, like the man said, 2 for 2 with Old Glory here back at Hagerstown.
Yeah, we try to. Aaron, that usually comes with me, he's down at the beach. He calls this thing money back guarantee. He says if we pull this thing out and it don't break, it's guaranteed to win. I tell him he's a little ahead of himself on that because there's a really good field here. So, yeah, and we've been through it. We got a lot going on. We've been through it a lot the past 6 weeks. It feels really good to be standing here with my uncle, my dad, my mom in the stands, my beautiful wife. And, you know, we got a lot to be thankful for and pray for. My uncle, he got his heart. I talked to you guys about that early in the season. He's down in Vanderbilt in Tennessee, so he got a heart transplant. Talked to him on the way up here. He's doing really well. So thanks to be to God, for sure.
In addition to that, and that's the ultimate thank you. Who else would you like to thank here that's helped you be here?
Just, of course, my uncle. I mean, he's behind this thing, and he's awesome. My dad's always here supporting. Like I said, my wife, my 4 daughters, my mom, my sister, just everybody. Like I said, my boy Aaron, he's a huge help. He's not here tonight. We're thinking about him. He's down at the beach, so just glad to get this one. And my dad's number 78. I was number 78. Number 78 car, 78 laps, and 78th anniversary for Hagerstown, and we put in victory lane.
It's Saturday night. Well, it is too late to play the 78 number, isn't it?
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
Hey, great job again tonight, man.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and Nathan, I hope we can. You're all right, man. I didn't do anything on purpose, buddy.
Get rid of the champ.
All right, Evan Faust taking it for the second time here in 2025. Shane McQuay, Isaiah Miller up front as we get set for our final green flag of the night as they hit the Jesse James Auto Mart start zone. Green is out, and McQuay will grab that lead. Miller quickly up into second. Pair of winners back there. Stoner and Kearns side by side. Another set of winners in Wilson and Kent behind them. Hit it side by side. It's a battle. 2 by 2 by 2 as they come back off at turn number 4 for the first circuit. So McQuay gets lap number 1, but here comes Kearns in the 83. Powering around Miller and up into second spot. Going to be Wilson and Kent still side by side. Back for Ford. Stoner, the 21, rounding out the top 6 here at lap 2. Top 5 pretty much under a blanket to a degree. McQuay holding that edge. And Kearns and he had a great battle going in the heat race earlier tonight. 88 Zia Miller still a very solid run in that number 3 position as they work off of that 4th turn Back for lap number 3. Side by side still between Wilson and Kent. Give the edge to Kent at the stripe. Wilson still digging down bottom. 21 is Stoner, about 4 car lengths back of the number 6 position. And Kearns right up to the rear bumper. Little love tap on McQuay as he worked it back into 3. Now Kearns again seeing if he can muscle 3D out of the way, and still just right there. And now Isaiah Miller falling back into that battle between Kent and Wilson. Those 5 machines having some good tight quarters racing. Kent kind of gets around the 65. Wilson on the outside. And still right on the rear deck lid of the 88 of Miller. This time Kearns, he has the outside line. That's what he's wanted. And then McQuay going to pinch him off. Those two almost got together a little bit. They did. And almost saw the 3D turn right. But he was able to straighten it back out as they come back. Lap 6 complete this time by. Still McQuay in front. Kearns trying to find a way around him. Miller a few car lengths back at the number 3 spot. Going to be Kent working the high line. Wilson down low. And now Kearns this time does have the racing room on the outside, and he'll claim that number 1 position down in 3 and 4. Kent clears the 88Z of Isaiah Miller, and now he'll go to work on McQuay, closing up to within a car length. And Wilson likewise gets around Miller moments ago. That will put him up into 4th. Miller back in 5th. Stoner in 6th. Kiefer back in 7th. Going to be Dennis holding on to 8th. 9th on the track. Going to be the 36 TC of Travis Calhoun. Mike Sell still out there running in the top 10. 69 of Dwayne Schneider. He's going to pull off into the pits here as we begin working lap number 9. Kent, meanwhile, gets around McQuay down the back straightaway, but has some work to do to catch the one-time feature winner, Brian Kearns. Those drivers locked in a pretty good battle for the championship. Kearns is chasing Kent, who came in with a 10-point advantage, but picked up the makeup simulate feature event victory earlier tonight. Now Kearns trying to reciprocate, so if it stays this way, maybe not much of a difference, and still a tight battle when they come back for their next event. Miller, meanwhile, further back, trying to get back to the inside of the 65 of Wilson. They put halfway on the board moments ago. 10 laps complete this time by in the 17-lap main event. Top 3 secure. Battle for 4th right now. Miller and Wilson still having a good one. Miller to the inside. Wilson up top. 21 of Stoner still in 6th with lap 11 recorded. Now 5 to go. The indication that time by our head flagman as Brian Kearns continuing to set sail. Good half-turn lead over Steve Kent. 3D of Shane McQuay having his best night so far. The Sykesville, Maryland driver. Solid 3rd. Isaiah Miller also very good run for him. Gets back around the one-time winner Dylan Wilson and puts himself back up into 4th as they go by for lap number 13. Things tightening up a little bit from 3rd on back. McQuay has still got that position, but Miller is trying to close up and see if he can move up one more notch. 65 Wilson right behind him. Top 2 are pretty well secure. They'll be looking at 2 laps to go when they come back. Again, McQuay off at 2. He's got about a 2-car length advantage on Miller. Another 1-car length back to Wilson. It's tight. And the 21 is Stoner in 6th. 2 to go for Brian Kearns. Cross Junction, Virginia driver, one of 6 different drivers to be in victory lane this year. Mentioned Kent's got 3. Kearns has 1. Jason Stoner, a 2-time winner. Dylan Wilson, Jason Giesemann, and Alan Brannon, all winners in simulate action as that one-time winner Dylan Wilson back around Miller. And your leader makes his way back to the stripe for the white flag. May have to deal with a lap machine, maybe not. Good half straightaway lead for Brian Kearns at Cross Junction, Virginia. The 83 coming into the night 10 points back. Still has some work to do and still some races to go in simulate action, but win number 2 for Brian Kearns in simulate competition. The 1C of Steve Kent. First and a second tonight in simulate action. He'll roll off in the runner-up spot. 3D of Shane McQuaid. Great run for third. 65 of Dylan Wilson and the 88Z of Isaiah Miller. They will be the top 5 tonight. Well, race fans, that will wrap up our racing action tonight. Congratulations out to Brian Kearns. We'll get a few words with him in victory lane in a few moments. His second of 2025, Brian Kearns taking the victory tonight in simulate action here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Very impressive fashion for the driver of the 83. There you go, Brian, do it, the number 2. Well, you know what? I was here on your first victory, but it was Lucas Oil night, and I was up in the booth with James Essex, so Shea came down here and did the victory. Ricky Thornton Jr., he got nothing on you. You had the most impressive victory that night, I'll tell you that. Turn around here just a little bit so the cameraman can see that beautiful face. Hey, what a big victory tonight. That car looked like it was really having a good time out there.
It was. Well, Steve Kent said on the first feature, you had to grow a set of nails to running in there. Well, I guess I took that to heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. He ain't the only one can drive.
Well, you guys have a great points battle going on. You came in 10 below, and I know Steve got the first victory, but you were bound and determined to make sure he kept things tight going into the next event.
Well, he was going to go below me if he passed me. And I was too focused. I didn't know where he was at. And, but it's been a year ago this week, sitting right over in the same pit I am, that I lost my soulmate. She's here.
You know, I'm going to tell you a good story because actually once you were in victory lane and we had Shea doing that interview, James and I were talking and all of a sudden we realized, and actually, forgive me, I had absolutely forgotten until you had gotten into victory lane. And this is a credit to James Essex, probably one of the best dirt late model announcers in the country. James was actually up there clapping for you like, go. And you kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And James was not saying on the PA, he was just saying, no, you go, you go. And we're going to say the same thing today. Anytime you need to vent that out, by golly, Brian, do it.
Well, you know, you can't do it without friends and family and good support. And I've got the best. And, of course, everything's possible with God. You know, I'm no really Bible preacher, but I definitely believe. And I believe he was with me tonight to win this one. And I just hope she's proud.
Who would you like to thank here tonight, Brian? I know there's a lot of people waiting to shake your hand and give you a big hug, but who else?
Well, Wayne's Garage is my main sponsor. Anthony's Pizza. Ryan Sager, I didn't thank him last time. Dylan Wilson, he helps me out a lot. And his crew. Ryan Sager's the motors, and he helps me a lot. Anderson Racing, all them guys. Jim Stevens Shocks. I got a little bit better prepared this time because that one's got me off guard. But everybody that's ever helped me in my career, I won the first race I ever climbed in a car. I think this may be it. I may go out a winner. I don't know. I'll talk to people. But
all right, guys, we got to keep him in the hunt for that title this year. We got to keep him in the hunt.
You know what? We're all champions. As long as we can show up here and race and do things we like doing, we're all champions. And points, this is just a bonus right here. Right. If you can come out and have fun with your friends and family, have a good night. You know, it's a nice battle with Steve. I like him guys. But at some point, you know, I'm 57 years old. At some point, I got to say enough's enough.
Well, you've given us a lot of great memories. So let's say it was the end. Thank you so very much for that. But you know what tonight, Brian? It's a great night for reflection and celebration. So I want you to go celebrate with these folks.
I will, and I want to commend you on how you announce the race. It's by far the best I've ever heard.
Well, I appreciate that very much.
I lost a bet. I don't do this.
Oh, here we go. As long as I don't have to wear it.
I do not like this.
He doesn't have to get naked too, does he? I mean, just with the hat, right? Just a hat here, right? Hey, that looks good. That looks good. That's pretty sporty. Folks, Brian Kearns, our winner tonight in semi-late action.